Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Thursday, January 5th, and we have a big show for you today. Tons of exciting catalysts. I think we got really good plays today for you. A bunch of earnings, bunch of events today, lots of things going on first. And then we have Vegas coming back. Vegas was with us yesterday. She just killed it with two ideas, Baba and Meta, and she just blew it out of the water. Unbelievable. She'll be back at around 9:15 with us today. First, we do a macro review. You can see QQQ and SPY down. This is driven by two things. First of all, yesterday with the FOMC minutes coming out saying, hey, we don't think we're going to be dropping rates in 2023. Higher rates for longer seem to be the message out of the FOMC. However, they'll be data dependent. But, I think that caused a little issue with the markets. And then this morning, jobs data came out really, really strong. Two different jobs data came out really very strong. Unemployment data and jobs data, I think it was. And so now you see the market dropping on that because good news is bad news. It means higher rates, UUP. You see that? But I got to wonder, I think higher rates is bad for obviously risk assets, companies not making money. ARKK represents that, right? Down 1.29%. But this strong economy, man, I don't know. Can it stay? It's just staying strong. If it stays strong for a very long time, you have to wonder, maybe you can see some diverging action between a company like Apple, right, versus a growth company that's not making money. You got to wonder that. But I guess the thesis in Wall Street is eventually this will break down, because when you keep the higher rates for longer, you're going to induce a recession, and that's what's moving the markets. You can see here, Apple about flat, up 0.3%. So, this is one I've been saying. I'm looking for the 200-week moving average, but I don't know. I get a little nervous when the economic numbers and the jobs data comes out really strong. We'll see if that materializes. This move to about 112, 115 on the 200-week moving average, which I thought could come as early as this month, or January 5th. So we'll see if that transpires, but you can see weakness pretty much everywhere else. And TLT bonds dropping, obviously, rates going up, UUP going up. So all of that makes sense. All right, let's dig into Tesla. Who knows, right? This is going to be volatile. We don't know where the bottom is, somewhere between 65 and here. So we'll just have to, do what you'd like on that one. Maybe Vegas will have some clues on that. All right, I wanted to bring up, Meta, Baba just killed it. 127 break to 129 was what was called by Vegas yesterday. That worked out really well. Baba, 100 break and went right. Oh my gosh. Went right to like 104, real near this resistance right here. That's the resistance I found there at 104.85. Went right very close to it. I think we're missing a day of data again, aren't we? TD. All right. Wednesday data is missing. They did this yesterday. Also popped up in the afternoon, though. So that's the story on the big caps. Microsoft took a beating yesterday because of a downgrade. So they're coming for the generals. That's what it seems like. And I do want to point out a couple things. Amazon laying off 17,000 people, I believe the number was. So that's usually the initial reaction is up for that. And you can say it was up for that because that means you can improve your profitability. But man, it doesn't sound good for the longer term for the economy. What's going on, right? Jobs are strong, unemployment down, but I don't know, people spending less on Teslas, people. So trying to figure this out. People are making choices with their money as things get a little bit tighter, and perhaps it will eventually spread to the whole economy. I also want to point out Netflix because I've been saying in the last several days about this idea of rotating capitulation and seeing signs that perhaps a stock like Meta and a stock like Netflix, I've pointed out both of these names, and it was just perfect timing with Vegas coming out with Meta yesterday. So Netflix also, perhaps this is already capitulated with that high volume drop over here back in April 18th. And we're seeing again when Apple was down huge, Meta was up the other day. So that was another strong sign. So Netflix is another one. And I believe Vegas wants to talk about Netflix today. At least she did yesterday. Maybe the story's changed with the markets the way they are this morning. So just prep yourself for the possibility of talking about Netflix. She's definitely into big cap. So we'll talk about that. All right. Now to our catalysts. Wow, tons of things going on. Man, I have LIACF at the top of my list, but there's significant news on most of these this year in the top 5 or 6. LIACF, well, I like this since the uranium spinoff news. which happened a few weeks ago. And that's what took it from right here. Actually, we had this day to get in. Can you believe it? After the uranium news came out, we had this candle right here before the gap the next day. So that's when I got in. And we had this big move on the uranium spinoff. Now, today, NASDAQ uplisting. That is huge. All right, man, I would love to get this stock. It's going to be hard, though. I mean, this morning there was someone, this is OTC. It doesn't trade till 9:30 a.m. I think IBKR allows you to trade it, but still no trades this morning. You can see some bids here. There was someone trying to buy 20,000 shares at 221. It's going to be hard and tricky. I don't know. We'll see. If it happens to not gap up huge, I think I'm going to get in this because I think there's a chance, well, definitely to test this high here of 237. I think that's definitely in play. Now, the uplisting to NASDAQ happens on Tuesday. Today's Thursday. You have 3 full trading days before the NASDAQ uplisting. I think the stock can be up 3 full days in a row through end of day Monday. And Tuesday, not really clear what happens. Maybe that could be a crazy update too, because, you know, when people's ticker symbols change, sometimes people don't have that ticket. They don't have availability in a lot of the brokers to sell the stock. Like, who knows what's going to happen Tuesday? Very volatile. But the next 3 days, I think you're going to see event anticipation. And I think my target's going to be 237 all the way to here, 270. So 237 to 270 over 3 days is my target for LIACF. But it's going to be tricky, man. So be careful getting in this. All right. So because it's just so illiquid. ACHR, thank you, Julian. So it's interesting. This is a well, there's a whole sector, a whole bunch of stocks. It's called EVTOL, which is Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing. Now, I only knew of LILM, LILM, but there's at least these two, and I think there's another Chinese one. There might be a fourth one. I don't know. But what happened, what drew my attention to LILM at first was because there was a report that Tesla filed a trademark to get into electric airplanes and boats. So then I jumped into LILM right away, and it worked, right? So it popped. And then, but what's interesting is then Julian said, hey, there's another one, ACHR, which may have a better fundamental story because of this deal they just had earlier that same morning. I mean, I couldn't believe the timing on this. Check this out. Oh, we don't have the Wednesday chart. But before that news came out on Tesla, ACHR was surging at 10:30 a.m. I believe the news came out, or 11:30 a.m. Yeah, 11:30 a.m. Stellantis to build electric aircraft with Archer and provide strategic funding for growth. They're basically funding this whole thing. You don't have to worry about dilution now. I mean, there's dilution from Stellantis buying, but it's good dilution, not bad dilution. It's going to be, sounds like maybe at the market when they invest equity in the company, and they're providing a lot of other expertise and stuff to make the whole venture a lot cheaper. And it says, in addition to that, Stellantis is going to buy shares on the open market to increase their position in ACHR. So very interesting, better electric vehicle play. But then we found out that the news that Tesla is going to be going into this was a little bit of fake news. I mean, the filing was real. The trademark was filed, but it wasn't filed by Tesla. It was filed by a Tesla fan on behalf of Tesla. I don't even know how that happens. But in any case, so that's basically, forget about that. So forget about the sentiment of Tesla coming in. And, you know, that may change my thinking a little bit in terms of now I'll like ACHR over LILM because we have that fundamental, that catalyst, additional catalyst yesterday. The technicals here, I put a swing trade on this, break the 20 DMA, move to the 50 at 150. So maybe that's in play based purely on ACHR, but ACHR here, the better play because it's got the fundamental check mark on this. This morning it was surging, and I was like, hey, 236 target at the 50 DMA was in play earlier this morning. I think it hit 230. That was crazy in the early pre-market. So we'll have to see. But yeah, 230 would be their initial target, and then we'll take it from there if it reaches that target on ACHR. Thank you for Julian for bringing that to our attention. I'll probably be rotating out of LILM into the stronger, what I perceive as a stronger play, ACHR, because of that news. CytoMax today has news. Man, we got to finish in 6 minutes. Hopefully Vegas will be a little late today. CTMX, the catalyst is today. After the close, it hit our first target. Wow, and look at that, beyond our first target. Now, during the afternoon yesterday, I said, I think this is going to surpass our first target because of the MACD and RSI. And man, was that right? So actually, because I saw that, I ended up not selling all at 170. I sold like 30, 35% at the time. I sold another like 10 or 15% this morning, like 180, 181. But now, if you look at the next, once you break the daily, it's good to go to the weekly. Another place to find resistance. And the weekly perfectly coincides. This 50-week moving average coincides with the high, the recent high. It's this candle right here on November 21st of $1.94. Perfectly coincides with that 50-day moving average. I love it when you get like 2 or 3 signals on a support or resistance level. It just means it's a stronger magnet to that level. So 194 would be your target. The question is, can it get there before the data this afternoon? I don't know. That's questionable, but this really does look set up nicely. If it reaches 190 to 194, there's a possibility I'll go all out. We'll see. And maybe I'll hold some for the data. I have a good feeling about the data because of Regeneron's recent investment. All right, we go to RELL. RELL, we got into this expecting earnings to be good, recession-resistant play. Earnings were a big beat. So I think the target here is going to be $23, $23.29 to $23.70, the 20 and the 50 DMAs over here. You can see it's already up. It's down a little bit. It was like steady at 22 to 22.20 last night and this morning, down a little bit because the market's turning right now. But I'm not willing to say it's going to go above this. You say, oh, it's a huge beat. It beat by like 35% or something. So one might jump and say, oh, this is going back to the highs. However, sequentially, the earnings are down. Sequentially, the revenue is down. And the backlog is steady from last quarter. Now, I don't know why the sequential drop. I don't know enough about, is this business seasonal? Are there customers buying, in certain quarters or whatever? I don't know the answer to that. Or is it because the company gave signals to the analyst who's covering it that, hey, it's going to be a weaker quarter, so they gave like lower estimates, and that's why they beat it? I don't know the answer to that. That's why I'm not willing to bet on a price target above the 20 or 50 DMA until I listen to the conference call at 10 a.m. And we'll see if I can get myself together with the crazy open at 9:30. Maybe I can put together an event at 10 a.m. so we can listen to the RELL conference call together. All right. So stay tuned for the possibility of that coming together. Another one, LNN, ag play that blew away earnings this morning. 165 beats 118, but sales, I thought sales were in line. Well, it's saying miss, whatever. Sales are roughly in line. So how do you get a huge beat on sales being in line? Is because their margins increased significantly, and they talked about that. They talked about their selling prices and their input prices, and the outlook continued to be very robust. They didn't give a quantitative outlook, but their qualitative outlook, very, very strong. I actually think there's a possibility this stock can go all the way to, well, you can see 163, but that's not a real trade. This closed at like 155, 156 yesterday. I think there's a possibility this stock can go to 165 to 168, up there near the 20 and 50 DMA. Maybe in one day, maybe in a couple days. We traded this successfully in the past when LNN had a huge beat. So we have another huge beat today. But similar to RELL, this is a sequential decline in EPS and revenue, even though it was a big beat, right? So I'm hesitating a little bit on this. I'm not going to say, hey, this is going to all-time highs, because, again, I don't know the reason why, if the business is seasonal over here with LNN. But when you beat every single analyst, and there's like 6 analysts covering LNN, and they beat the EPS, the highest EPS, they beat like by a comfortable margin, you're going to have an up day. All right. So LNN, possibility of 165 to 168 from the 156 close yesterday. And that maybe can happen in a day or two. And also it's the agriculture sector, which very often does well when the market's down like it is today. So that's LNN. All right, we're going to move real quick here because I see a minute. Just going to point out, EAR had a catalyst. I don't necessarily love the fundamentals on this, but Tony's been playing this and bringing it to our attention. They had some news yesterday of launching a product and distribution partner with a Verizon reseller. You can take a look at that. SMSI been very, very strong. Seems there's some catalysts and fundamentals, the people who are close to this that are talking about, with Verizon pushing out their product much more aggressively. I put a swing trade alert on this yesterday. We could make it all the way to the 50-week moving average at 276. So I'm going to try to bring Brian back, Brian P. Perlis back, to give us an update on SMSI soon. SMR, that nuclear play, which I think it may be the Wednesday data is missing again. But anyway, SMR, I like that. The same with FREY. I just think it's time for them to bounce back. and their charts are up and down like that, and it's back to support levels, both SMR and FREY. Thermatech had some news. You can take a look at that. TPCS, actually, I love. I talked to Mark Gomes about this yesterday on a weekly collab, and I think that, you know what? Watch this morning how LIACF does on this NASDAQ uplisting, and that's going to give you a clue as to what could happen with TPCS. I think it's going to be explosive with both of these stocks, so take a look at that. And we're continuing to monitor some of these swing plays, TGB, CTLP, Tabaloo. Grill, not a swing play yet, but putting it out there. I'm in it. I'm waiting for someone to do the fundamental research on it to tell us a little bit more. And last thing I'm going to say before I bring Vegas on is CTLP had a $500,000 block order right before the close yesterday. Volume precedes price, and this has been a swing play for us from 340. I'm still eyeing the 200-day moving average at 486. So all engines go on that one. And with that, we're going to welcome Vegas back to the show. Good morning. How you doing, Vegas?
Good morning, everyone. We had a great day yesterday, and so we're going to talk about what are we looking at for today. So I'm a really big fan of looking at these momentum plays, especially if you like to do the day trades, or even if you like to do swing trades. Really good to pay attention to these ones that are running for the day, and then really take a look at the weekly chart, because I love looking at the weekly charts to take a bigger picture of what, is this a good one to continue to watch for the next day? Or, what, I don't really like to day trade too much. So, what, I'm going to go take a longer term approach on the actual stock, maybe a couple of weeks out if I'm in options, or a month out. Or you like to swing trade the stock and then have obviously your own stop loss plan. So let's talk about BABA, because we had a phenomenal day there with BABA.
Yep, absolutely.
And
you killed it. That was a beautiful
yeah,
call.
that was a great one. So we should definitely be watching on this one. Now, here's what I want to say. So if you are looking to day trade BABA, you need to wait for a break over 103.50. That is the next level of resistance. And if it breaks 103.50, there could be some serious fireworks. We're looking for this to head towards maybe 104.61, 105.30, 106.64, maybe even 108, and maybe 109.35. So it could be a really, really good move on BABA. Now, the thing
when you
is,
talk about those targets, are you talking about day trade or swing
yeah, no, day trade targets. These are day
Oh,
trade
wow.
targets.
Okay.
But sometimes these targets may not all hit the same day. These are potential day trade levels. Now, the thing is that because BABA is such a gorgeous chart, I mean, it's got an expansion breakout, it's got a pocket pivot. The MACD bull signal has crossed. This is super, super bullish. So let's just say that you don't really want to day trade BABA. You don't really have time to do this. You're busy. You could definitely consider a swing trade on BABA with a January 20 expiry date for options, if you like the options angle. And you could go to like a 105 call. I would not go higher than a 110, because at least you have time on them. So like a 105 call, yesterday they closed around $5.04, and the 110s for Jan 20 closed around $3.20 one contract. So your stop loss would be, I wouldn't want this to go under $101 on the actual trade. So whether I'm day trading it or swing trading it, I don't want this under 101. So you could see right now I'm at a 101.64. So this is why you want to wait to consider the trade for day trade. But you know what? For swing trade, I got to be honest. I'm very comfortable taking the trade, let's say this morning, with time on it, because the chart is gorgeous. So,
I'm seeing a potential target of 128 here on a swing
you
time
know what?
frame.
You know what? If you see something like that, and we know that these China stocks still need to recover from where they've been at one time, I would even be saying, you know what? If you see something like that, I mean, I would definitely look at even something with longer term, like a March call, March 17, like a 120 call, 130 calls. The 130 calls are only 350, 351. And the nice thing with those is you could just hold them. You just hold the trade, let it run. It's going to take some time to finally get towards your number. But you know what? You just sit there and wait and let the trade play out. I mean, obviously you have a risk management plan in place. If you get stopped out, you close your contract. But I mean, you have so much time. It's the beauty with the options. If you have time, you're not really, the theta doesn't work against you as much when you're on day trade, right? So if you can't, day trading can be stressful. So definitely swing trading BABA looks incredible. Like so far,
Awesome.
this chart's screaming like, let's go. It's like ready to go.
Awesome. I definitely want your feedback on a couple of our top ones today, but do you have a second pick for today for us?
Yeah, so a second pick for today that we should definitely be watching. Let's say let's keep a close watch on Walmart if it can break 143.90. Okay. That one has room towards 145.50 on
Is there
Walmart.
any catalyst on that or sector sentiment that's
No,
lifting
I noticed. Okay,
retail?
so I will say I've been noticing some action in the retail sector. Like I noticed, like TJ Maxx yesterday triggered on dark pool, so the money flow confirmed that there was some money going into the actual retail sector. So TJ Maxx triggered to go long, and Walmart. If I look at the weekly chart, kind of looks like it had an outside day, and it's kind of has a cup and handle. But the thing I want to mention too with Walmart, there's no like, let's say, catalyst, but there was money flow on Walmart as well. So I really like to follow the money on Walmart, and if it can get over eventually 147.50 for people that like to swing trade Walmart longer term, if it breaks that level, this has room to it like towards 155.
I'm just thinking of something, trying to think of the
Yeah.
catalyst and fundamental angle. Amazon this morning, 17,000 people are laying off. I wonder if that's a whole sector thing, or maybe they're losing share to Walmart, because my friend Igal, you met him in Florida,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
or at least no, he was with me, but you were on the phone. Okay, yeah.
I wasn't
But
there, but I
anyway,
met him on the phone. Yeah. No, I haven't
but
traveled to Florida yet.
yeah, but in any case, he was talking about he does a lot of retail wholesaling and stuff like that, and he was saying that Walmart's doing really, really good. That was last year, and they're taking share away from Amazon. I don't know if there's any truth behind that, but Amazon's up this morning a bit because the initial reaction when you lay off people is usually Wall Street usually likes that because it means better profits. But longer term, I wonder if Walmart may be taking share from Amazon.
Well, you know what? Walmart's extremely competitive. And so, a lot of people still love going to Walmart. They got the online stuff happening too, where you can get stuff delivered even the next day. So, I mean, they're definitely stepping it up. But if you notice pre-market this morning on the Walmart daily chart, yesterday, just when the market was closing,
Actually, I'm
there
losing my.
was
Do you have a screen you want to share? Because
no, I don't have because
oh,
I'm
okay.
doing it on my phone, so I don't know how to.
Oh, no problem. Yeah,
But
unfortunately, TD has chart issues the last 2 days, so I can't even see
oh,
yesterday's data. Yeah,
well, I just want to
I can
mention
see it on the
yesterday.
no, I can see it on the daily, but I can't see like 5-minute
Yeah, no, just yesterday on
increments.
the close, there was a huge volume surge. So it broke like it was over like 650,000 shares of Walmart at the close. So obviously to me, I feel like they're accumulating the stock.
Okay,
So it's
awesome.
just a matter of time. But
So
today's
what was
level,
the levels? Real quick, I want to get your opinion on one of our stocks, but real quick, what was the
yeah,
levels on Walmart to look for today?
yeah. So Walmart has to break 143.90 for a day trade and targeting 144.35, 145.52 on Walmart. I would say on Walmart, wouldn't want to see it go below the low of day for the day. So, I mean, right now, low of day is 143. It's a pretty tight. So I'll have to wait and see when the market opens. So my stop loss would be like low of day if it pulls back. I wouldn't want to see it go below that. But we want to see it break 143.90. If it's below that, you got to watch the trade. You don't want it to, could fail. So
Okay,
really tight
cool.
stop on Walmart. So which one did you want me to look at?
All right. Well, I'll give you a couple. LNN is the
Yeah.
largest cap that you may be interested in. It's $1.7 billion. They had a huge earnings beat this morning. 165 beats 118. And I've had good experience in this in the past, trading this on day one of an earnings beat. It's a 150 close at 156 yesterday. I don't know. I think that there's no pre-market action Vegas for you to go off of, but I think there's a possibility this can make like a $9 or so move today.
So what was the ticker?
LNN, Q1 EPS of 165. If you
Oh,
trailing
Lindsay
PE,
Corporation?
yeah, and apply the current trailing PE of 26. Man, I did that yesterday, and let's see real quick. 165. Let's do it one more time. Oh, 165 times 4. 165 times 4. While you look at that, so there's a little cheat code I use sometimes. So it gets you to 171. So fundamental possible price target of 171, which kind of correlates closely with the 50 DMA. I don't know. Do you see anything there?
Well, first of all, this thing needs volume, right? Like, look at the volume pre-market.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there, like two
Nothing.
trades, like nothing. So there's no volume here.
Well, that's me on
I
the
would
bid.
say this is a good one. Like, I like that it's over the 55.65, the EMAs. But I would love to see this get over 160.44. I think if it can break that level, you'll see people stepping in.
It might happen in the first 5 seconds, Vegas.
Yeah, you never know. Like, when the market, well,
So
maybe when the
watch
market opens, we'll see some action here, right? Like, why is there no volume here? Nobody likes the earnings. Was the earnings? You said the earnings was good?
It's because there's only 11 million shares outstanding.
Okay, so if it's a low float, I mean, would you think that people like the news, they would be in this? But you know, it depends what kind of traders are attracted to this. Also, price, right? The price of the stock. Sometimes even if it's low float, sometimes it's going to only attract a certain kind of buyer to want to pay this price per share. So definitely, the chart. I'm not loving the chart, but and I have to see the earnings report. But you said it was really good. But I'm not even seeing like a gap up this morning on this actual stock. Like, what happened there? It's almost like it's dead. But you know, a couple buyers. Oh, look, we got four shares though so far pre-market. So, so you know what? Listen, not gonna knock it down. Not gonna knock this down. Definitely liking the level that it's. I like that it's over this 152.16 level, which is the 55. So let's see if it can get over 160.44. It has the chance to do that today, and if it does, then definitely has room maybe to like 164.36. And then you could reassess it from there. Maybe it could go to 168.30 over time. But definitely, I'm going to keep a watch on this level of 160.44. So until it triggers, I'll keep it on watch for now, for me.
Awesome. I also want to let you know I got to leave and I got to make a trade at 9:30. So, but
yeah, okay.
I just want to let you know RELL beat earnings. It has a gap up here plus 5%. I'm looking at a target of like 23 to 24. The conference calls at 10 a.m. I'm not willing to have a higher target than that based on the fundamentals here, but we'll see. Maybe I'll revise the target. I don't know if there's anything there that interests you.
On RELL, what is it? RELL?
RELL.
It's Richardson Electronics. Oh, I had like a bit of a spinning top here, so let me just see here really quick. On RELL. Are you like swing trading these, or are you like just watching them?
I own RELL in my IRA, but I also bought some ahead of earnings yesterday because it's
I'll
a
be really quick because
recession.
I know you have to leave, right? So 21. I love that it's over the 3 EMA. I love that it's over the 21 EMA on the weekly. It'll look really attractive if it can break for you today 22.35. This will look really attractive. So like in the weekly chart, but I like it a lot more when it breaks 22.35. Then this will be like a much prettier chart, and I think you'll see buyers coming in because you know some of those traders, right? They want to see the 8 and 21, the levels, the stock trading above those levels, and I think once you see that 22.35 break, I think you'll see some nice volume potentially coming in here, and people looking to swing trade this for sure. So looks good.
Awesome.
Volume needs volume still though, right? The volume's low, so we need to see volume. But I think if we can break 22.35, hopefully we'll see that volume come in.
All right, those are the two earnings plays, RELL, LNN. I'm hoping LIACF explodes. Take a look at that, Vegas, in the news. Thank you for your ideas on Baba and Walmart. Hopefully we can kill it again. Thanks, Vegas.
Yeah, that's great. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye. I love stocks, right?
I love stocks. I love options. I love everybody.
No. Your handle on Twitter. What is it?
Yeah, ILUV Stocks 1. Thank you.
There you go. ILUV Stocks 1. All right. Take care, guys.